Welcome back. This is Kevin with Everglades Canine Academy, and today we are working with Fudge, the mini schnauzer. We are going to show you the difference between a dynamic reward and a static reward. We use reward training with all of our dogs. Fudge is a very food motivated dog, so today we're using his kibble as a reward. And I'm going to break down how to deliver the reward and begin the marker training process, and how to show you the difference between using a dynamic reward, which involves some movement, and a static reward, which I typically use for duration, having the dog hold a position. So we're just going to kind of begin by loading the marker. I also have some of my other boarding dogs out right now as a distraction. You can see Fudge is looking at his sister. They have an extreme bond and codependence with each other. They're not from the same litter, but they do everything together. They almost have like litter mate syndrome, where it's when they're both out together, it can be extremely difficult to train Fudge because no reward will be better than playing with his litter mate or his sister, Sunday. Fudge and Sunday. Very cute. But sometimes very, very difficult to train him because he's so codependent with her. So we're going to try to just combat that a little bit. I actually have her free roaming. You can look and see how I have 3 other dogs right now, and he is laser beam focused on his sister. He won't take his eyes off her. He follows her everywhere. She can't even eliminate without him like sniffing right there. So what I try to do is I actually try to break them up a little bit and try to get him to disengage with her. But it's really difficult because just being with her is so rewarding for him. He's even trying to pull me so he can go chase her because she's just like eating in the grass. So, training can be very difficult when your dogs get codependent with each other because they form their own pack. And then you kind of just become the person that feeds them. You're not as important. And in dog training, come here, buddy. In dog training, it is a game of value. Okay? Dogs are inherently very selfish by nature, and they find what is most valuable to them, and that's what they continue to associate and want to go to. So Fudge finds value in being literally on top and next to Sunday all the time. Here she comes, right? Look at him. Hey, leave it. See, he can't help himself. He goes right to Sunday. What are you doing? I need to be right next to you. I need to sniff what you're sniffing. And he's yawning. That's a sign of stress because he's having barrier frustration. She's only 3 feet away from him and he can't even stand it. So in a lot of ways, I do deem this as a problem when it comes to training because I can see that when Sunday's out and I'm training Fudge, he will very quickly not care what kind of value I have, whether that's a toy or his food. And he's extremely food motivated. So we're just going to, and that's why I have him on leash. I have Fudge on leash because I don't want him to just run off and go play with his sister. Now, my job right now is to show you how to utilize a dynamic reward and a static reward. And through this process, my main goal right now for today is to try to get Fudge's attention. I'm going to see, and I want to show you guys as well how much or maybe how little he'll pay attention to me when his sister's out free roaming. Now, I have better success when I put them away, but I want to work through some distractions. Fudge really needs some distraction training. So, we have all the dogs roaming out right now. There we go. He's starting to relax a little bit. I'm actually going to give him a static reward, and I'm going to reward this behavior. I don't mind that he's laying down. I don't mind that he's not so stressed about his sister. So, and I'm also going to shoo his sister away from him too, because she is also very codependent with him. Good. There we go. Good boy. Sunday, leave it. There we go. See, I'm going to use spatial pressure, and she's probably going to come near me, so we'll see. We'll see how much I'll be able to dismiss her. I'm actually going to see, even because when I start doing my dynamic rewards, that means I'm like moving and rewarding Fudge. I guarantee the other dogs are going to be interested. Come over, say hello. We're going to kind of work through it, and I just want to demonstrate how either successful or sometimes how difficult it can be to train in a pack setting. So sometimes, sometimes we isolate the dogs. Sometimes we bring them out and train them together. So I'm really going to focus on Fudge. We'll kind of see what the other dogs do. I'm not really going to pay the other dogs. Hey, no, go. Yes. There we go. So here comes Sunday. She's like, I know those words because I've worked with Sunday as well. So let's get into what a dynamic reward is. Okay. A dynamic reward is we are using our marker word, right? My marker reward word is yes. That's how I say it. I really try to develop like a strong vocal tone with it. I'm not going to say, we use the word yes in a lot of our everyday verbiage, but I'm not going to say yes and then reward him like I would when I'm talking on the phone or talking to my friends. I want to say it a little differently so the dog understands when I'm using it. Okay, so I want you to cue in to how I'm saying that, and I want you to develop your own way of saying it. It should be a little different. I tend to vocally go a little higher, and I tend to hold out the S a little bit. So, yes. All right. That's how I'm trying to load this word. So the first thing we do with every dog is we do start with a dynamic reward. Yes. So I'm moving. Leave it. Yes. There we go. See, like Fudge, Sunday, out. Fudge and Sunday are inseparable, and it can be a little bit of a headache to train them. Yes. There we go. Good. Yes. See, so I'm bringing dynamic to the reward. This makes the reward more exciting. Yes. And I'm feeding him 1 or 2 pieces at a time. Yes. There we go. I'm actually going to block Sunday out. I want him to lure. Good boy. Yes. I'm going to work different positions with him. Yes. Very good. So I'm using dynamic. Yes. And I'm moving. Yes. With Fudge. Finish it, buddy. Good boy. Yes. There we go. Good. And you can see he's nice and hungry. Yes. That time I went a little bit higher. But that's okay. The idea is that we're moving. All right. And I would love to see more dog owners just practicing at the park, just doing this, or practicing in the street, just doing this dynamic reward. This is food time for Fudge. It's I gave him just a little bit of breakfast, not too much. This is kind of the rest of his breakfast. We're about midday right now. Yes. So he's really, really hungry, right? So as his trainer, I know he's going to be very distracted with Sunday being out. So I want to increase my chances of success, and I'm using hunger as a tool. Okay. Gave him just a little bit of breakfast this morning, a little spoonful of kibble, just so he could have something in his stomach, and then gave him like a couple hours rest in the kennel. Now I'm bringing him out, and I am trying to get him in the mode of working with me. Okay. Yes. There we go. And I'm especially rewarding eye contact. Okay. Eye contact is really what you want to be rewarding. Now we're also going to include we're also going to include the place command because he knows that really well. And we might include some recall. I'm always working place and recall with dogs. All right. But as we get warmed up, it's really just dynamic reward. Okay, so he's looking at Sunday. Let's see if my dynamic reward can get his attention. Yes. There we go. You see that? Right away, he's cueing into this word. This also tells me that Fudge knows his reward marker really, really well. Like he was mid-lick. He was in the middle of grooming himself. And I said that marker and he immediately turned around and came flying towards me for the reward. Okay, so that is the power of a dynamic reward. And usually when I begin my sessions with dogs, I'm not even really giving them commands. I'm just promoting my dynamic reward and having them cue into me. Yes, there we go. And the movement, a lot of the movement is what's really triggering him, his response to engage with me. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so now let's talk about what a static reward is. So if dynamic reward means that we're moving, then a static reward means that we're staying still. And a lot of times I use this for a duration position. So I'm going to deliver a static reward when he's holding a position very nicely. I may move, but the dog is not going to move, right? So that's what a static reward is. I really love using the place command for this. I highly recommend you start teaching your dog a place command. I have these nice placemats, but you can really use whatever you want. You can use their dog bed. You can use a chair. You can use a tree stump in the middle of the woods, whatever you want, guys. Place is a command that the dog should be able to get its body onto that position or that object. Okay, Fudgy, place. Now with static commands, I don't use the word stay, right? In my training, the command is implied. So place also means stay. Good. But I will use the word good. This is when I use good. Good boy. I go back to the dog and I reinforce. Good. I'm using a static reward. Good. I dropped a piece of kibble. He was looking at it to get it. Let's see if he breaks. No. Good. If he does start looking down to the ground, good. To break, I may correct him. That's why I also love this command, because I can work in a nice formal correction. Good. Now this is really easy for the dog. Dogs love this one because they don't have to move. Good. Well, some dogs love this one. Good. But this does take a little bit of practice. Let's see if I can move a little bit. He's getting a little distracted with everybody walking. Good. I'm going to go back to him and reinforce the fact, no. So a little correction. All right. No. This is why we use a leash, guys. No reward on the correction. That's the only punishment. Okay, no reward on the correction, right? And he was pretty skittish, so he was quick to jump off, but this is why we use a leash, guys. Because if I didn't have the leash, I guarantee he would have been like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm running away. All right. So now I'm going to use a dynamic reward to reward him off. Yes. There we go. And it's really important, if your dog is good at holding it, it's really important to give them the verbal release. Okay, make sure you release the dog. They're not meant to hold it forever until you get to a point where they can hold it and take a nap. But in the beginning phases of training, you guys, have them hold it for a little bit, give them a good solid release with a dynamic reward. Let's go ahead and try that again. Fudge, place. No? Here we go, distractions. Sunday's right there. Using leash. Good. All right. Now reinforce with static rewards. Good. Now you guys, accountability in dog training is so, so important. Your dog will get to the point where they don't want to do something and they will just try to ignore you. Good boy. And you have to have accountability with them because that's what training is. Yes. There we go. Training is making sure your dog has accountability for the commands that they do, or for the commands that you give them. Okay? Place. Yes. You see, Fudge he doesn't want to do the place command. I know he knows it. And I have to use the leash, but this is how we have accountability with our dogs. Fudge, place. No. Yes. See, all he wants to do is look at Sunday. What's Sunday doing? Sunday, 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 Sunday. Yes. All right, we need to break that from him a little bit. And I want to stress that they should also have some time apart when they're at home. Okay? Fudge, place. Yes. There we go. Good boy. Good. Okay, we're going to wrap it up right there, guys. That was a pretty good session. All right. Fudge got some good reps in, and we're going to kind of repeat this over the next couple days. And then we're going to start taking Fudge out. I'm also going to start separating Fudge and Sunday a little bit. They need some time apart. And if you have any comments, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks for tuning in. All right. Happy training.